What's going on, guys? Car Review Guys here. My name is AJ, and this week we have been spending some time with the 2025 Toyota Tacoma. In particular, this is the Trailhunter, if you can't already tell, seeing it here beside me. And this is the full review. Next video, 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. We do it every week, every single manufacturer, every press car. So without further ado, if you are new to my channel, let me just explain the order. So we're going to start with the cinematic, around 60 seconds generally or less, and then we're going to go ahead and go around the exterior stats, figures, stuff I feel like you guys would want to know, and then we're going to jump into the interior, talk through some of that, and then we're going to go ahead and take it on a drive. Without further ado, let's get right on into this review. Let's roll. This Tacoma Trailhunter is a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo hybrid max, pushing 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. That is combined. Transmission is an 8-speed auto. Drivetrain is obviously rear-wheel drive biased, however, 4x4. Curb weight is around 5,410 pounds, which is going to be pushing it from 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds. Towing is a max of 6,000 pounds. MPG is 22 city, 24 highway with a combined average of around 23. Gas tank size is 18.2 gallons. Now, vehicle dimensions, this can change slightly. However, my tester today is the 6-foot bed, as you can probably tell as we're standing here. And with that is around 19 feet overall length with the 6-foot bed. And of course, there's the optional 5-foot bed, so basically a foot less. Now, width is around 6.4 feet without the mirrors. Ground clearance is an impressive 11.5 inches, and the overall height is 73.9 inches. Now, pricing starts on the Trailhunter at $63,135. Tester today is coming in at $66,405 USD, and that is including the destination charge. So while we're back here, again, not too much to talk about back here other than you can see it has the iForce Max over here on the right. You can see you've got the recovery tow points, steel bumper, and then we can press this. Down it will go. And then once again, this is the 6-foot bed. You can see we've got some different tying options there as well. And then over here on the left, if we were to pull this up, you can see it has the compressor as it states right there, which is pretty cool on the Trailhunter. And then as far as getting the tailgate back up, we can simply press the button, if I can find it, underneath, and up it will go. And it might even be on the side as well, if I remember correctly. It's been quite some time since I've messed with it, so let's just see here. There you go. The button's on the side as well if you don't want to get underneath, which is a really, really good design to have there. You have nice LED lighting. You see one in there, and there's 2 on the bed, one there and one there. Again, simply press that, up it will go. Now, of course, we've got some good tires here to be going for hunting some trails, if you will. They are 265 70s 18s. And we're gonna see how they drive on pavement. Obviously, you have these fender flares as well. On the Trailhunter, you have these rock guards down here along the side, rock slides, whatever you want to call them. And then up here, you've got the intake, which allows you to go in some deeper water and whatnot, and you actually can hear that thing. I'm gonna try to get some audio for you, but you can definitely hear it whenever you're in the cab with the noise, and it sounds kind of cool, honestly. And then it does have a 360 camera. You can see one of them located here. You got the front, the rear, and then obviously the other mirror. And if we continue on around, it is all LED lighting, super bright. You got little daytime runners, got some fog lamps down here. You can see rigid. And you also have one underneath the Toyota emblem as well right there. So definitely equipped to go off-road, no question. You also have a different angle here for that. And then you also have skid plates underneath as well. And you can see in red down there, recovery tow points, of course, if you get into a pickle. I test getting every single vehicle, so let's just see what it is like. Now, just looking at the rear, again, pretty much the same as any other Tacoma, right? As far as space in the cab. The only difference is, again, this is lifted a little bit more. So we do have a handle located right here. And if we hold that, you can pull up. You got to watch your head, though. It's kind of a short cab. And again, I'm 5'9". And now that we are back here, let's go ahead and shut this. Now, this is like stadium seating as well, which is nice once you're in. It's just a pain in the butt kind of getting in. You got to watch not to smack your head. But this is exactly as I can see right here. I can see a little bit of the top of the steering wheel. I can see the full windshield. Now, this is where I drive at 5'9". You can see I've got just a little bit of wiggle room there. And then as far as headspace goes, there is cutout. So if I bring that up, there's probably 2.5 inches up there, something like that. Not a lot of leg room. I lean back just a little bit. It's nothing crazy, but yeah, so not a ton of space back here. You do have 2 cup holders located there. USB-Cs, and the surprising thing is there's actually no air vents that I can see unless they're under the seat, but there's none in the middle and also none on the pillar. So that'd probably be one of the only improvements I would say as far as the rear seat. Other than that, not bad. Again, this is this size of truck and this is what I would expect. Jumping on into the front, I do wish there was a handle here. There is not one. Obviously you can hold onto the steering wheel or whatever you like, but again, like if we look at my legs, not look at my legs, but you know what I'm saying? Like look at how far off the ground, again, because it has a lot. So I have to really kind of pull myself up and in. Yeah, we can all make fun of that I'm short. That's fine. That's fine, no problem. Nonetheless, we are in here now. Once you're in, it's actually really comfortable. I really like these seats. They're quite comfortable, just not the easiest to get into. Now, this has a multi-tone interior. It is gray. You can see it's, depending on who you are, orange or yellow stitching. Looks nice. Soft touch for your elbow. This is soft touch as well. Even up here, it's kind of soft touch, which is very, very surprising. Did not expect that on a like off-road focused vehicle. You have all your different lights and auxes and everything over here on the left. You can see the light bars are down there. Over here, you've got your power mirrors. They are not power folding though. Just something to note. Now, looking straight ahead, see all digital instrument cluster. That looks really nice. You still have lane centering over here on the right and adaptive cruise control. That's super nice. And of course, all your multimedia over here on the left. And you can go through the screens and all of that stuff. Not really going to go through all that because there's a bunch of different views that you can go through. What I will show is down here, this little toggle. We can spin it and you can see we've got sport there. We've got normal and then we've got eco. I've spent my time in normal. And of course, there's other modes as well for off-road. Of course, you have 2 high, 4 low, and then you've got locker as well. Now, while we're down here, let's go ahead and press this button. You can see there is a 360 camera. Now, we're going to go ahead and cut this off and just put it into reverse, and you can see what it looks like there. Pretty good picture quality. They've really updated cameras in Toyotas, which is nice. Now that we are on the screen, this is pretty standard for most Toyotas and or Lexus now. Nothing too crazy here. As far as just pressing something, just to kind of show you, that's kind of the responsiveness as to what it looks like. So yeah, I don't really have any complaints there, but you can judge that for yourself. Now up here, you do have a digital rear view camera. Of course, you can flip this down. It's a normal one. And then of course, again, flip it on if you want it digital. We do have a heated steering wheel located over here, trailer brake far left. You have heated seats. You even have ventilated seats in this, which I am thoroughly impressed with. A lot of times off-road folks' vehicles, those just go right out the window, and that is so frustrating. So that is nice to see. You also have a wireless phone charger. Of course, pretty standard gear shift, nothing really to talk about there. Electronic parking brake. 2 cup holders, and then moving on back, this is all soft touch, which is nice. And then we open it up, and it's a good size. I could probably fit 1 to 2 tissue boxes in there, because you do have a cutout up here as well to allow for more space. Now, up above us, you're going to see we do have a sunglasses holder located there, and then there is no sunroof. There is no option at this time, at least that I see. Maybe in the future we'll see that, but not at this time. Now, just to touch on materials one more time, this is a really cool looking composite. I don't know exactly what it is, but it looks really, really cool. I'm a big fan of this. It looks nice, and then you can see you've got Toyota there and a couple of different layers for colors, and it matches the stitching, which is neat. And then, of course, the passenger has a nice little grab handle here. It's like a rubberized type material. So there is that as well. And then on the interior, it is equipped with JBL speakers. So again, this truck is pretty loaded out. It's got a lot of stuff in it, especially, again, being off-road focused. A lot of off-road focused. That all just goes out the window, and it's nice they kept all of that in here. So without further ado, how's this thing going to drive on pavement? Can you live with it every single day? Well, let's go find out. As we get this out on the road, I've taken the mic off of my shirt, and I'm going to try to hold it over by the snorkel, so that way you can hear the air. It is kind of a really cool sound. If any of you have driven a vehicle with a snorkel, you're obviously going to know what it sounds like, but you probably won't be able to hear me because I'm going to hold it as far over as I can, and hopefully you'll hear it. I'm going to do with the window down and with the window up, to get 2 different ones to see if you can kind of tell and hear the difference between the two. So we're going to start with the window up, and let me get out here. I've got it in sport mode, just for gearing purposes. So, all right, here we go. All right, then I'm going to crack the window down. That was with the window up. Hopefully that came through. It is quite apparent as far as the sound goes. Hopefully that came through, even me talking. You probably couldn't hear me very well because I still had the mic over there. But nonetheless, hopefully that came through. It's definitely present, and it definitely brings a unique feel to this truck. I like it being an off-road focused truck and having some feel behind it. Just like a sports car and exhaust note, that gives you some more character while driving, and I definitely like that in this truck. All right, we got the mic back in place on my shirt. So continuing on, again, I like that. That was one of my first impressions as I started driving it around. I was like, wait, what is that sound? And it actually caught me off guard. I just didn't expect it. I don't know why I didn't expect it, but I didn't. And nonetheless, now it makes total sense. As soon as I heard it again, I rolled the window down just a little bit, because the window up, it does make it definitely quieter. But if you just crack the window just a little bit, you can definitely hear it, which again, I think it's neat. I actually really like it. Now, continuing on, speaking of noises, there's 3 different categories. You've got powertrain noise, you have tire noise, and then you have wind noise. Now, wind noise, initially I thought, oh my goodness, what is that sound? Again, that was the snorkel, and it's only whenever you're actually getting in it. Whenever you're just cruising, you don't hear it, which is good. Now, these tires are actually surprisingly pretty smooth, and for the noise levels, they're pretty maintained. I'm just shocked at these technology on some of these different tires that are so off-road focused. Usually there's like a nice hum to them. Now, as you get up to speed, you can hear them. Like, they're there. I'm not saying they're not there, but it's not ridiculous either. You can definitely hold a conversation, which is a great thing. Now, as far as wind noise, very, very refined. They've done a great job as far as that goes. And then powertrain noise, you can hear it a little bit. I'm going to try to be quiet. Let's do sport mode and pull out. Here we go. So hopefully you could hear that. Again, this mic, the good news is it cuts out a lot of noise around it, so it makes higher quality for you guys. However, sometimes whenever I want you to hear things, you can't necessarily hear it. So the powertrain, again, is definitely there. It's present whenever you're getting on it. But again, I kind of like it because, again, this is an off-road focused vehicle and it gives it some character, and I do like that. This is not a luxury type vehicle. Now, I have luxury features, which not to be mistaken, I do like that. But I like having the feel of something a little bit different, and that's nice. Now, again, once you're at cruising speed, even that, it's definitely maintained. Now we're coming up, let's put this back in normal. We're coming up to the cattle guard. We do this every week. Let's see how sound does and suspension body control. Here we go. So it's stiffer, like my body like moves, but it absorbs quickly, which is a good thing. And then as far as noise goes, very maintained, like way better than I would have expected, especially with these tires on this thing. That's very, very impressive in my book. Let's go ahead and touch on our blind spots. Over to my left, that pillar is rather thick and it has the little handle there, so just be careful, make sure you're looking back there. And then checking over to our right, not really. Obviously, like the back pillar, like where the seat is, there's one, but you can see in your mirror at that point, so like there really shouldn't be a blind spot. Of course, it's equipped with blind spot monitoring if you were to need it. Now, as we're driving along, I do have my cruise control set, and I've got it with the lane centering on, and it does a really good job. Like there's just a little thing, and it's moving. Of course, keep your hand on the wheel, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the deal, safety, blah, blah. Anyway, just showing that it does work. It stays dead center, and again, that's one of the features that a lot of times off-road focused vehicles, they just get rid of, which is so annoying because generally if I'm taking this off-road, I gotta be on pavement for a good while to find the trail, right? To get to the trail that I wanna do. So definitely nice, and I'm not gonna be on off-road every single day, right? Like I'm gonna be driving this around town, you know, errands, whatever, and to have lane centering, that is really, really nice, and it works well. Toyota has a good system. I wish you could use it without cruise control set. Maybe one day we'll get that. I don't know. There's definitely other OEMs that allow that. But nonetheless, it is a good system. It works. Adaptive cruise control, no complaints there either. Let's go ahead and touch on the acceleration portion, right? That's always a question. You know, this has like the hybrid max, and this thing feels torquey. Like you can feel it whenever you press into it, which is a nice feeling, right? Like it's good to feel the torque in a vehicle like this. And if I were to hit it, it's not fast, but it's not too slow either. Like it's a good amount, at least for me, in my opinion, for what this vehicle is. And from a standstill, this thing actually grips quite well. There's not much wheel spin, which is impressive as well. So they've done a good job, I think, overall balance, getting that torque, but also having some acceleration, and it doesn't feel, you know, very slow. Again, not fast, but it's not slow, which is a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna throw this thing in sport. We're gonna take a turn. Again, this is not a vehicle you'd really take a turn in, but let's just see how the suspension does. Just curious. At 22. Okay, the one thing I notice is, and I've noticed this prior too, but the turning radius, not very good. Not very good in this thing. It is, and I had that thing like my arms cockeyed and it still almost didn't make the turn. So it definitely does not have a great turning radius. Again, that's expected, right? Now, as far as the actual suspension back there, it's a little on the softer side, as expected, even in the sport mode. So you can kind of feel it's a little bit top heavy, right? It's lifted up. And again, that makes sense. It's all on par for what it is. And I would never be trying to take a turn in this really quickly. I was just more curious for the suspension and letting you all know. Again, we're not going to be taking this off-road. There's so many videos out there if you want that. It's just if you want to go on weekend trails and weekend trips, right? Like, is this a vehicle that you could live with daily? And prior to getting it, honestly, my answer would have been probably not. But now that I've had it and I've spent some time with it, I got to tell you, it definitely is livable. My number one gripe for me, and again, it's because I'm 5'9", is getting in and out. Like if I were to take this thing shopping for a day, I would be not all that thrilled because the cab, the headline is short, but there's no real step bar to step on to get in. So like I have to step up, and as I step up, I'm too tall above and I basically hit my head. So I have to like step up and then shrink down. And it just is not the easiest to get into. It's not a massive deal, but it's just not that great for me. Again, if you're a different height and it's easier for you to get in, then it, you know, would be changed for you. Just for me at my height, it's not that great. Now, the other side of it, for a comfort side of things, is the seats, and the seats are quite comfortable. I could sit in these for quite some time. They're kind of the Goldilocks, right? Which is a good thing. Not too stiff, but not too soft either. So that's good. And again, the ventilated seats is massive for me. We live in the Phoenix area and it's super hot. And being able to have a cooled seat is so nice. I really enjoy having the cooled seat and some of the other comforts. Now, another thing that I would change on the improvement list, and not to spoil my next video, but it has all these comfort amenities, and it is really nice. Like, they have done a really good job. Like, hats off to Toyota for this. But could we get some memory seating, like, by chance? Because that just seems a little silly, right? That's like if you're mad at somebody or your lady friend, and as Kevin Hart would say, you don't take the earrings, you take the backs to the earrings. And that's essentially what Dave did. So is it a big deal? Not really, right? Like, it's still power adjustable seats. Like, you can just press the button, move them, and stuff like that. But we're already in a $60-some thousand vehicle, and we have a really, really nice interior, and then we take away or don't have the memory seating. Like, it just seems a little silly. So that would be nice to bring that back. But I got to tell you, though, again, overall, Toyota's done a really, really nice job with this truck. Definitely would be a contender if I'm going to be taking vehicles, you know, off-road, especially frequently. This would definitely be a very, very nice one. And especially, you have an optional 6-foot bed. That is really, really something. A lot of that's just not really generally an option. You get the 5-foot or you get the 6-foot, and it depends on trim level, and they just do goofy things with it. And this one, you have your selection. You can have the longer bed, or you can have the shorter bed. Next video, 5 things to love, 5 things to improve. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.